So one of the reasons we're here today is to discuss your brand new book, The Grater Good. She's absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
And I would like to start with, there's an amazing quote you have written here in your foreword, and you say, "These recipes are edible activism, ethical hedonism." What? Flip! That is so beautiful. When I read that, it gave me chills. Can you just talk me through what that means to you?
Well, for me, like, you know, as a 15-year-old turning vegan, as you can imagine, I mean, I was already really a sort of environmental activist at the time, and then I got all around animal rights, and I was kind of a nightmare. Like, I would just go around being a real pain to everybody and giving everybody shit for eating meat. And that was my activism. And then I got really involved in protests and flyer drops and stickering in supermarkets and the whole shebang. And what I eventually found was that it made me really uncomfortable eventually, because I felt like I was caring for animals by caring less for humans.
Right, right.
And that didn't sit right with me. I needed to find a way to encourage plant-based eating and encourage the rights of animals alongside humans.
Yeah. Like a synergy,
without,
really.
Yeah, without alienating anybody, without being aggressive. And for me, that came about through food eventually.
And so how did you find your balance? How did you manage? Because obviously you're very self-aware, and you were aware of what you were doing. So how did you find that balance?
Yeah, it just took a long time. Just slowly feeling like it was important. It just became more and more important to me to just be really kind to everybody as well as animals, and find that you know, I would go to family events and take a great vegan dish, and I felt that had more impact on people's opinions than going and shitting on everyone else's dish.
Which you don't really want to do.
No.
All right, well, let's talk about the book. So, The Grater Good. What does this mean to you?
Well, I mean, that title is it's another brilliant idea from the brilliant, amazing writers group that I'm part of in Facebook, this community of female writers. And when I first opened Grater Goods, I'm going to keep getting those two names confused now that we've got this book, The Grater Good. But when I first opened Grater Goods, I had sort of workshopped the name of the place with that group, and they came up with Grater Goods, and then we did the same thing with the cookbook. But honestly, for years, journalists were always using my name in puns,
right?
Around my music, and I would, you know, Flip Grater was always a bit of a strange stage name for a folk artist. I would arrive in towns in Italy, and they were expecting like a punk band and stuff.
Oh.
So it was a very strange one. And then when I did the cookbook tour, you can imagine the puns. It was out of control. And so eventually I just thought, I might as well lean into this.
Own it.
Yeah, just really go hard with it.
Give it resonance.
Also because I'm a 5th generation butcher, I've got this huge background
5th generation butcher?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You flipped that on the head, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry about that.
Had to be done. Yeah. You know, this huge family history of fishing and hunting and butchery. And my grandfather was the grandson in the butcher shop in Sunderland called Grater and Sons.
Right.
So I sort of thought, when I first opened Grater Goods, I was imagining it more of a butchery. So I thought I would sort of subvert what that idea was, and sort of also as a kind of homage.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
To that family.
Amazing
history.
Evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what sort of happened, and then slowly the butchery side of things morphed into more of a delicatessen to be more in line with what we're actually like and what we like.
Yeah. Now I have had, I've been one of the lucky ones, and I've been able to have a little look through it, and it has a real beautiful Parisian vibe, and I know that you met your husband in Paris. So did you ever consider maybe settling in Paris or France instead of coming back to Christchurch?
Yeah, in fact, when we got to Christchurch, we were coming for 3 months. We were just coming for our wedding. My father had an organic vegetable farm in Amberley, and the thought was, we'll go out there and have this Canterbury wedding, and then we'll head back to France. Next minute, we've been here, 7 years?
So how did that happen? What happened?
Well,
were you like drugged and you woke
mean,
up and it was like 7 years later?
We got pregnant.
Oh.
And then I was like, it'd be good to have the baby here and then we'll go back. And then it was like, well, it'd be good to raise her a little bit here with her with extended family around here, and then we'll go back. And then COVID, and then we kind of love the place.
Yeah.
You know, so just roots after roots, and we are here. We're really Christchurch people now.
Yeah, and I think for me, as a a foodie person out on the streets in the hoods, Grater Good has a real iconic kind of feel about it. It's like the first of many amazing venues that has lots of captures, but also is a plant-based, yummy place. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I think is really important for Christchurch.
I feel like that's so true and so important. Too much of the time, veganism and plant-based eating is around the raw food, the healthy food sort of vibe, and it was important to me that the food here and the food in the book would be really focused on it being delicious first, and then just happens to be plant-based.
Yeah.
I think that's when it's more effective. I think that's how we capture more people that are plant curious, to really delve into that, and also for these foods to exist alongside traditional antipasti products and just be a delicious alternative as opposed to a poor cousin.
Yeah. I mean, I've looked through the book and every page is, for me, a book has to make me salivate. And every page I am salivating, even when it's just hands and movement.
Yeah.
There's a melody within it that you've created that is just so exquisite. And I think that's part of you and Yusuf and the Parisian element you bring in. It's just amazing. Yeah. So look, let's talk about being a mother and being a businesswoman and what that means. I mean, bloody hell.
That's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Especially with lockdowns and sick days and all that sort of stuff that we have these days. But it's been a challenge to start a business with a small child. Obviously it's getting easier, but Anais has been part of this journey since the beginning. She was, part of that experience in the kitchen. She was my little sous chef when I was working from home, and now she's here and she brings things to tables and clears tables for us. She's really as much a part of this place as we are. Yeah,
that's really beautiful. What would you say to any women out there who are considering starting their own business and they have children? How do you begin?
Hard not to say don't do it. No, I would say just begin. Just like start and get support around you and talk to people that have done it and are doing it. And it's doable. It's just juggled. Like the juggle is real for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes as well, as a mother as well and a businesswoman, you have to be really open to failing. Yeah. The failing are the steps up to the mountain, aren't they? They're the ones that kind of take you to the top. Otherwise, for me, you're just standing at the bottom.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to try things and see what works and then adjust if it's not working and find new ways to do things. Like we started with one little kitchen and it was 3 days a week, just during the hours that Anais was in daycare. And then as she got more used to daycare and could go more hours, then our opening hours were longer. Yeah. And there was just that ability, and then roping in friends that lived close by to pick her up when I was running late and all that sort of stuff. The village really comes into play. So
you apply everything to your life as a mother, and then you kind of make it bigger and bigger as your child gets bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Also, I originally when she was born, I found it hard to compartmentalize. I felt like there was too many different hats going on. Being a mum of a small kid felt like a totally different role to being a musician, to being a cook. And all of those things felt very different, and I felt like I had to switch between the modes. Whereas as she gets older and as I got used to those roles, they sort of morphed into one, and I didn't have to take off one hat to put on the other as much. It just sort of became more naturally my whole identity, and that they all work together much more fluidly. Yeah, I think as well, when you become a new mother, as your child grows, you're growing as that parent. I think people forget that. Yeah. That you're creating your own template for a parent in your family, whether it's your own business or whether you're going out to work or whatever you're doing. And I think we need to be more kind to ourselves as, mothers who are out there doing our own business and 100%
making it work. Yeah. We're running the world, people. We're running the world. Okay, so look, I've got a series of quick fire questions, and I'm calling it fill the blank. Okay. Is that all right? So they're kind of quick fire, and I'll just go fill the blank. Okay. Cheers to the Grater Goods. Yeah. Yeah, indeed.
Oh, yum. So
Oh
nice.
my days. Okay, so fill the blanks. Ready?
Okay.
Actually, how can I do this? Right, this way. Family means blank.
Togetherness.
Togetherness, that's beautiful. Okay. When you want to be alone, you
Puzzle.
puzzle.
I puzzle.
What type of puzzles?
Jigsaw.
Really? That's millions of pieces?
Thousands, but not millions. But yeah, I'm a puzzler.
So you've got to dedicate your space at home for your puzzles?
I do.
Wow. And if you get it all together and there's one piece missing?
I'm fine with it.
Are you?
Yeah. I mean, I have a 5-year-old, so it's inevitable.
Oh, right, okay. That's amazing. Okay. Blank is on your nightstand.
Water at all times, and valerian root.
And valerian root?
Yeah, I'm not reading at the moment at bedtime, but I always take valerian root to sleep.
And what is valerian root?
It's a herb that you can take, and my one is with kava root as well. And yeah, you take it or drink it, and it helps you sleep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Thank
So
you.
good.
Yeah. Where'd you get it?
I get mine from my herbal doctor, Richard Whelan. He's amazing. But you can get it at all like health stores. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay.
common, yeah.
Thank you, valerian root. Okay. The last TV series you binged and enjoyed was?
Ted Lasso.
Tea Lasso.
Ted Lasso.
And what's that?
It's amazing.
Was that on Neon, Netflix? What was that on?
It's on Apple,
Right.
and it is joyful and encouraging and hilarious.
A concert you'll never forget was?
Gosh, Leonard Cohen.
Where was that?
That was here in Christchurch, actually, at that big stadium. They change their names all the time. I can't remember what it's called. But also, I was part of a showcase at South by Southwest one year where I was playing just before Chris Christopherson. So when my set finished, I sat on the ground and right in front of him and watched him, and it was amazing.
Oh my days.
Yeah.
How big was the crowd?
It was in this, we were in like, it was a part of a sort of special showcase, like a side thing where it was invite only kind of vibes. And so it was just in like a floor of a hotel room that had been taken over by the festival. And I think it was like only 100 of us in there.
So
It's
really
very cool.
intimate. Oh my goodness, give me the chills. Okay, a plate of food that feeds your inner temple is?
Noodles.
Noodles.
All day long.
With what are we talking?
Any kind of noodles, honestly, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and that's why it was really fun for me to try to lean into the European cooking for Grater Goods and for the Grater Good, because Asian food has always been my wheelhouse.
Right, yeah.
And so ramen, udon, every kind of rice noodle salad, every kind of rice noodle soup. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Asian people, the culture does vegan vegetarianism with lots of personality and lots of flavour, and lots of texture, lots of fresh, and it's
And I think that's why it was important for me that Grater Goods be something different, because over the years, when I turned vegan, I had to take my own soy milk to cafes because nobody had that yet, and I would literally just hand it to them and ask them to make me a latte. But things have changed so much, but still, over all this time, Asian food has always been the easy go-to for vegans.
Yeah.
There hasn't been sort of European alternatives and like classic things that traditionally had meat and cheese in them, and egg, but made vegan. So that's what we really wanted to offer as an alternative.
Yeah. And these days you can turn that meat frown upside down when you just buy Mexican, Jamaican, lots of different Indian. You can kind of. You can create something quite quick now. God, I can't imagine what it must have been like. Anyway.
There was a lot of pulses involved.
Oh yeah, I just can't imagine. Wow, wow. So people always get blank wrong about you.
What do people get wrong about me? Maybe my name, actually.
Really?
No.
Is Flip short for anything?
It's short for Flipper.
It's short for Flipper. Your full name is Flipper.
No. That's the thing they get wrong. My name is Claire. Yeah. But I don't go by that very often, to be fair.
You don't look like a Claire.
No, right?
How did the Flip come about then?
When I was an environmental activist as a teenager, people started calling me Flipper because I started this petition to save Hector's dolphins off Banks Peninsula from net fishing. So people started calling me Flipper and singing the Flipper theme song every time I was around, and it kind of stuck. And when I started doing music, it just kind of continued.
Oh, so you really adopted it. Do your parents call you Flip or do they call you Claire?
My father calls me Flip and my mother calls me Claire.
Yeah, mother's always.
Yeah,
I'm Jacqueline
like,
to my mum.
I called you a name for a reason. That's my name for you.
Yeah, Flip in it. Oh, sorry. Okay, so.
Well, it's funny because in French, flip is a kind of exclamation, like flippy, like if you flippy, it means like you're freaking out. It's like it's like a way of like freaking out.
That doesn't sound like you though. You sound real chill.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Do you speak French at home?
We used to a lot. We've kind of gotten out of the habit lately, but Anais is now doing a French program and a French immersion school, so we're trying to pick it back up.
Oh, beautiful. God.
Yeah, my French is rusty as hell.
I bet it's better than mine. Petit pois, that's it.
It's a good one.
Favorite album of all time is?
All time? It would have to be Gillian Welsh. Times a Revelator?
Times Relevator. Revelator.
Times Relative.
Who's Gillian Welsh?
She is an alternative country singer.
Kiwi?
From the
States.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Followed by Tom Waits' Bad As Me, I think is the name of the album. Yeah.
Do you have that on vinyl, or do you have vinyl?
I do not have any vinyl right now, no. In fact, I don't know what to do with my CDs these days. I've got nothing to play them on.
Earrings, mate. Loads of earrings. Okay, so blank was the first thing you ever saved up for?
A guitar. Yeah. I suck at saving, but yeah.
How old were you?
I must have been like 21, just starting to write songs and play them publicly, and needed a guitar that was better that could plug in. I needed a guitar that could plug in so I could do it on stage.
Do you still have it?
No. I've gone through a lot of guitars over the years.
Really?
The first night that I moved to Paris, my guitar got stolen.
That guitar?
No.
Oh, right.
No. My favorite guitar still to this day, it was my second Takamine, and yeah, it was stolen the first night that I arrived. Gutting. And I started a Kickstarter vibe, like donation. And my supporters were so kind and helped fund a new guitar, and I still have that one. It's a Guild. It's beautiful, but it's not my Takamine.
No, wow. Yeah. God, people are mean, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the last one. Your Sunday roast must include?
Must include greens.
Right.
Because I can't handle too much like roast heavy food. I'm not an oven cooker, I'm a stove cooker much more of the time. So I need the light, I need the bitter, I need bright and light and bitter alongside anything that's heavy.
Nice. Oh yeah, so nice balance on the plate.
Yeah.
Flip, it's been amazing talking to you. You've been just incredible, and I will look out for the Grater Good. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Thanks,
You're welcome.